Hello Minecrafters, I am Jim Slate and welcome to Cobble Valley. We are now on episode 9, continuing on with RotaryCraft. Last episode we hit bedrock and that opened up the doors to many new tools and devices. One of which is the CVT, which I've got one. If I can remember what floor I put it on. Here we go. Over here. That's the CVT. And we will be using that today, and we are also going to be working toward getting our magmatic, where'd it go, there it is, our magnetostatic engine upgraded. I know last time we've had this one upgraded to level 1, so today we're going to get this up to level 2, or we're going to try to anyways, and see how far we can get along with this. So one of the things we're going to need is our ethanol crystals that we produced in earlier episodes. And yeah, this is where we're going to put it all together. So what we're going to do here is you can make these converter tier 2 upgrades. But the trick to it is it has to be magnetized to 720 microteslas in order for it to be used. Now the actual creation of it isn't really that difficult. Actually, I've got it up here. It's just some gold bar or gold ingots, HSLA steel ingots, a core shaft, which is pretty easy to make, and on down the line. The difficult part comes into charging it. And that's what all of this is going to be used for. So we'll go ahead and grab our stuff here. And we'll go ahead and put this together. Now I want to go ahead and dig down one. And this is actually the first time I've ever used this one, and I'm hoping it's going to work out okay. I'll place that under there. It's an engine control unit. And it's supposed to be able to cut engines on and off, especially the gas-powered ones. So hopefully that'll work. So then we want to take our gasoline engine and set it on top of that. There. Now, as I've said, red is your output, green being your input. And we're going to use our 16:1 gearbox. After that, we're going to put in a magnetizing unit, and that'll go there. Now see, that's our input, and there's really no output on that. Now with these, you can see here it's got 2% damage because I fired it up before I ever had lubricant in it one time when I was working on some other stuff, and already did one of these just to test through and make sure everything was working right. Forgot to have lubricant on it, and before I could even cut it off, it was already up to 2% damage. So we do definitely want to get some lubricant in it. And yeah, should have some over here. And I've got all this cut off just so it's not quite as loud, because with all that running it can get very noisy. And we'll come back up here. Now, as before, you just take your bucket, set it here, and it will put right into the internal storage buffer. Now it'll go up to 24 buckets, but I might want to get one more. And the reason is this is not a fast process. I don't know why I keep on hitting escape. We'll go back over there and put that one more bucket in there. So that gives us 5 buckets of lubricant. Now what you're going to do is you're going to right click on this magnetizing unit, and you see you've got one little slot, and you're going to put that in there. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take redstone and drop it right there, and then we're going to take this timer. And they're not too bad to make. It pretty much comes down to redstone and smelted stone to make these circuit plates. We're going to put that here. and that's not going to be turned right. There we go. The same screwdriver that you use with RotaryCraft to turn them around and line up your inputs and outputs will turn this as well. And you want this redstone on your output. And then what you're going to do is, with an empty hand, you want to take this timer all the way down to 0.2. So pretty much you're just going to have a constant pulse like that. Then you're going to come over here, right click here, and you can see you've got your gasoline engine, and you're going to take a full stack and just drop it in there. And what this is going to do is it's going to give you about an hour's worth of fuel. And right now we're set on torque with this, so we want to switch back to our screwdriver. You want to sneak right click, and you can see those gears just sped up. So now when we right click here, we can see we have magnetized this to 1 microtesla. And there's the second one. And I have it figured out to where after approximately an hour, which just so happens to be how much time we have here, this will be magnetized to, I think, around 780 to 800 microteslas. So this is pretty well automated. You're pretty much just going to let it run until it runs out. So that's pretty much it on this one. So in an hour, our converter tier 2 upgrade should be done. And so we're going to go play with something else for a little while. Now, one of the things I want to do is I want to be able to make jet fuel. And that's something I've mentioned before, is being able to take your ethanol that we created previously that we just put in the gasoline engine, and taking that and converting it into jet fuel. Now, the reason I wanted to show you this first is because this level 2 upgrade is going to be used over here. As you can see, this magnetostatic engine is a tier 2. So you have a higher torque and higher max speed on these than you do on the tier 1. And so what I'm going to do is show you how to combine power from multiple engines. Now that one should be filling up, that one should be filling up. And I actually want this set to work like that. And the reason is because I'm getting ready to dial these up, but I don't want them to start yet. So, and actually I guess I can go ahead and let it, that way I can get it all the way up. Now you can see how much higher this one went than the one I showed you just a little bit ago. Now we'll set that back here and that back there. Now, next item up is we've got a bevel gear and a shaft junction. Now both of these you've seen down below when we were hooking power or getting power out of the hydrokinetics, the water wheels downstairs. So we're going to get this set up, and actually that's dead on first shot. And I did bring my glasses. So basically you've got this getting input and an output. You've got this one getting its input here and output. Okay, that green's covering it up. I picked that up, yeah. Yep, so you've got your input and your output, input, output. So you want to come over here and drop your shaft junction. Now what that does, that has an input. That's not turned right. Let's switch over here and turn this. Okay, that's the way I want it. So you want your input coming from here and here, but the output's not right. That is. Okay, you want input there, and then output this direction. Because what we're going to do next is drop in our bevel gear. And for this, I want, and I'm actually just going to use a screwdriver, that way I'm not getting confused with the inputs and outputs of all the others. I want it to input on black and output on orange. So input on black, output on orange. So yep, that's right. So you want your input coming from this motor into here and then outputting into here. Because in this one, there needs to be a way to light up a single machine without turning it. So your input, and then output. Now from here, we want our CVTs and belts. Now I'm going to overkill this a little bit, and you'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. So your inputs come in here, your output. Now these, the cool thing about these is they're belt driven and they are adjustable. So right now you can do a 1-to-1. Now you can do a 2-to-1. And you see this little number here moves up. You can tell it 8, but you'll see this goes red and it won't let you go any higher than 2. And the reason for that is you don't have all your belts in. Now we're only going to do 16-to-1, which would actually be that right there. You can see that the 16 did match up and it's not red, so we do have the capability of doing that. But I'm going to go ahead and fill it up. And the reason is because when you use these, you do have the option to go to 32-to-1, which is extremely handy in some cases. You can see here it's got the inventory, and it does require 1 lubricant, so we'll go grab that. And I'm actually going to get 2 buckets full because we got 2 CVTs. And all you got to do is right click on it and it fills that up. Now this is a fill it up once. It never uses it. It just has to have it before it will run. And so we got that filled up, and I want to set that one on 16 as well, I think. Smack that. All right, so next we want to get another bevel. I think I'm done with that. Better keep my bread. Then our factorization unit. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop that in there and figure out what that needs. So that's black input and blue output. So we want the green coming in and the red going up. So black input, blue output. I think that's what I said. Yep. Green coming in here, red going up. Then we're going to put in our fractionation unit. I always mess up the pronunciation of that. And we've got our input coming in from the bottom. With this, we've got an input of 6 items, actually another one here. So let's go grab those. What we've got is we've got a gas tier, and that goes here. This never gets used up. It's kind of like the lubricant in this. It has to be there to run, but it never gets used. And then you've got blaze powder, coal, tar sand, magma cream, netherrack dust, and ethanol crystals. So you have to have these 6 items before you can make jet fuel. Some of these I don't think any of these ever get used every time, but they do randomly get used. I don't know the numbers on it, and I'm really not gonna worry too much about that aspect of it. I just know that sometimes they get used, sometimes they don't. So we want to take and come out of the top of that, and I'm going to, that'll be fine. And then I've got these tanks, which are actually from open blocks. Pretty easy to make, just 5 glass planes and 2 obsidian makes 4 of the tank blocks, and each one holds 16,000 millibuckets, so 16 buckets. And I'm gonna go ahead and drop 8 of them here, but I am going to disable 2 of these. I'm going to switch this one. I'm going to take that off, but I'm going to just switch it to insert, because later, once we get the jet fuel converted and over here into the tank, we're going to want to turn it around and put it back into something else that you'll see shortly. And this one I want to extract, and I believe this one I can disable, and that should do it if I have these set right. So let's find out. So we'll take that one, yeah, take that one, okay, let it run. We'll take that one and let it run. Now what we're looking for is full green over here, and as you can see, we've already started getting jet fuel. These items are all nice and colorful. They combine to the gas tier converts it over, and folks, we are now producing jet fuel. As you can see, it's used 1 of the netherrack dust, 2 of the coal, 1 of the magma creams, I think maybe 1 or 2 of these, and 2 of these. But I mean, we're already getting a substantial amount pretty quickly. Let's go over here and check on this. And no, I'll end up editing and getting back over to this, but you can see we're at 100 microteslas, and it's been running for about 10 minutes. So it might not make it, because if that's 110 minutes, that's only going to be 660 minutes. So we may not make it in time, but we shall see. So I'm going to go ahead and let this run for a little bit, and then we'll be back. Okay, and we're back. And what I did is, where I had done this before, I went ahead and grabbed my other tanks and just went ahead and added it in. As you can see, that's basically the 8 that we just put up, and I went and grabbed my other 8 that I had taken down, and that way I could just combine it and go ahead and get this rolling on. So I'm going to go ahead and come over here, take this, stop that one and that one, and we're going to take out, actually I want to take out this stuff. I'm gonna have to look and see what we used up, because something got used quick. Okay, I know what that was. Yep. Oh, gotta get that. And we'll take that out of there. And next we're gonna toss in our pulse jet furnace. And we're gonna have water. Oh, and this is what got used up. And these suckers are kind of hard to find, because what is it? Jet fuel. I call them squishies. The magma cream, comes from the slime balls, which I call them squishies, and that's pretty much due to my daughter. But anyways, I have a hard time finding these, so I'm actually working on a farm. I've incorporated these into my farm. I don't have many seeds because they can be a little tough to make, but this little section of my farm right here is going to be growing those. That way, let's see, I need 2 more. Let's go find the crafting table. So what I can do is just make them that way. And so now I've got 18. It makes it a whole lot easier. And the eventual plan is to be able to automate production for everything that goes into making the jet fuel. Alright, so next item up is the pulse furnace. We want to drop this in here. And then this is going to be taking in the jet fuel. And actually I want to insert that. And this is why I said I wanted this set up so it could extract it. So now you can see that we have filled this part of the pulse jet furnace. Now this one is going to require water. So we've got an ender tank set up to a water source, and we're going to put that there, and disable that one. I want you to insert and you to extract, and so that should be filling up our water side. And now we've just got this, and temperature on this has to go up. The maximum I think is 10,000. Not exactly sure. Yeah, maximum is 10,000 degrees. But what we've got to do is we've got to hit 131,000 rads. So let's see where we're at. Let's see if we can light that thing up with our current setup. And if not, nope, looks like we're good. We're in the green on each of these. Our temperature's coming up pretty good. So we'll let that climb on up. We'll go back to our crafting table. We're going to put together 2 more things. And you can see here I've got redstone and gold dust. These are going to combine to make inductive metal blend. Now you have to have this pulse jet furnace. I see we're up to 873,000 or 873 degrees Celsius. We'll take this and put it in the top, and as you can see it is processing. It's going to go up there and come out as an inductive ingot. Now go back over here. 170. I was going to pause and wait for it to click over to 5, but okay, 175 microteslas. And we've been running about 15 minutes. That's, like I said, it's not fast, but it's not like you have to hand crank it or anything like that. So anyways, the reason we are doing this, if we come down here and look up converter, our tier 4, tier 3, yeah, tier 2 is behind us. Our tier 3 requires an inductive ingot in order to get up to the next level. This is what you have to do in order to get the inductive ingot. So now you know. Our next steps from this are actually going to deviate off of this. And the reason is our tier 4. Yeah. Our tier 4 requires tungsten ingots. Now this is not a mineable item. I'm clicking here, there's no recipe for that. You can put tungsten in. Did I misspell it? T-U-N-G. Nether tungsten ore. Okay, maybe you can. I'm clicking on it and it's not showing me anything. So I'm not sure what that is, but the only way I know to make this is, let's see, what was that? I think it's with iron. Oh, come on, where are you? Wait, no, I want to use it in the process. Well, 10. I can't find it now. But I looked it up because I couldn't figure out where on earth I was going to get tungsten from. So I went online and found out that you have to, it is a byproduct when you use the extractor. So our next thing to do is going to be getting an extractor set up. Now there's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can set it up with the water power that we've got. You can actually set it up. Oh, I forgot I didn't want to be quite that low. You can set it up with these. You can open this up and add 1 more, 2 more, 3 more rows. And then you have to work through all the complication over here with different types of clutches and bevel gears and things like that to get your power combined. And I'm just going to do the home button to get all the way back up top. Or, let's see. We can set up a gas turbine. And as you can see over here, this thing has got a lot of power. And there's a few little tricks to setting this up. So I believe what our next time here will be is either refining our production here and automating it with the farms, or just using what we're stockpiling this way and go straight into the gas turbine. So who knows? Tune in next time, you'll find out. If you want a notification when I post that next video, make sure to subscribe. If anything here has helped you out today, I would appreciate it if you could help me out and just click like down there at the bottom. We'll get this one finished out. We'll use our inductive ingots over here, and we can speed these up. We can definitely speed up this one back over here because it's still level 1. And we can start on some production, because that extractor not only creates byproducts, for instance, you get tungsten from iron ore, but it's a 4-step process, and each process has a minimum of 50% to double. So you can, as you'll see in the next episodes when I get that up and running, you can have a substantial increase in your materials that you put through it. So until next time, take care, God bless, and we'll see you again next time.